Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
This morning, we're watching a couple light showers on radar. We're going to talk about where these are headed and those hot temperatures still headed this way coming up.
A Panther Creek High School student is okay after being hit by a car in the carpool line. How officials are making sure students are safe when they are dismissed from school.
And right here is a live look out at RDU International Airport. A record number of passengers expected to go through those turnstiles over the weekend this holiday season, and the best ways to make sure you make your flight on time.
And UNC's first game of the football season ends after midnight, and it was a close one. The update we expect today after the team's starting quarterback hurt his knee. Started off in the third quarter and didn't come back for the rest of the game. We'll let you know what we hear about Max Johnson. A lot to tell you about on this Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hoviak. Good to have you along here on a Friday. College football got started. A couple of local teams come from behind wins that were worth the wait last night, no doubt. Anthony Baglione is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now with a look at that radar there. Should we be concerned about this, Anthony?
Yeah, no, this is not going to be a big deal for us this morning or even as we go through today. But I want to say there are a couple very light showers that we're watching. A lot of this kind of blue and green that you're seeing is what we call ground clutter. It's the radar picking up on some dust, on the particles that are just really fine in the atmosphere. Where you see it gets a little bit heavier there are a couple light areas of rain toward I-95. So there may be some light showers pushing through Roanoke Rapids to Rocky Mount, even Wilson. Most of that is pushing out. I don't foresee any big issues here for the morning commute and as we head through this afternoon. We hit 101 degrees yesterday out at RDU. We're already feeling like 82 in Raleigh and Durham, 77 in Goldsboro. We climbed to 95 today, and that will come at least with a slight chance for a few storms later on this afternoon. Futurecast, though, is very limited. There's 7 o'clock this morning. We go through the day. We're looking pretty good, but any of these storms that try and get going could have a severe potential with them. We're going to talk about that aspect of the forecast for us today, guys, and our Labor Day weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Anthony, thanks. Breaking news. An investigation is underway right now at an apartment complex in Wake Forest. Officers are at the Forest Ridge Apartments on South Franklin Street. Nick Perlin joins us live from the scene in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. And Nick, what are you seeing right now about the response?
Renee, you can see right here behind me a long line of Wake Forest police officers, and a little bit further back, the crime scene is taped off. And I want to show you some video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker so you can get a better scope of what's going on here. When I did arrive here at 3:45, Wake Forest police did tell me that they were going to interview some witnesses rather, to try to gather more information on what happened here early this morning. So still very early on in the investigation. I'm going to keep asking for more information, and I'll let you know what I find out. Live in Wake Forest, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Take a live look right now. RDU International Airport. There are folks that are already arriving to start their holiday weekend travel. RDU expects to see a record number of people go through TSA checkpoints this weekend. And WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live at the airport this morning. Those people who are traveling should make sure give themselves plenty of time to get through security this morning.
Jeff, they definitely should give themselves a lot of extra time because we're already seeing a busy RDU. This is the check-in area right now for Delta as folks are getting ready to take off on their flights. It's estimated that about 200,000 people will travel through RDU between today and Monday. That's according to airport officials. We're going to show you some video now from Memorial Day weekend. That, of course, was the unofficial start of summer travel season, and now we're here at the end. And RDU officials say that the airport will break their all-time Labor Day travel numbers that they hit last year. They're expecting to see a 13.5% increase from 2023. If you're picking up your friends or family from the airport this weekend, RDU recommends waiting in the cell phone lot.
It's just a couple of minute drive to either terminal. It's a good place to wait, get a phone call when they're here, and go pick them up. It really helps reduce congestion on the curb and traffic on the roads.
As always, airport officials are encouraging people to arrive early if you have a flight, 2 hours early for a domestic flight, and 3 hours early for an international one. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live at RDU.
People hitting the road for the holiday can expect to pay less to fill up their tank this year. AAA says the national average cost for gas, $3.36 a gallon. North Carolina's average is even lower, $3.15 a gallon, and the average in Raleigh a little higher at $3.22. Drivers will want to leave early today if possible. The best time to be on the road is before noon or after 7 p.m. The worst time to be on the road is between 2 and 6 p.m.
A Panther Creek High School student was hit by a car in the school's carpool lane. Now, this happened during dismissal at the high school yesterday. Cary Town officials say the student was walking in between cars and was hit. The student had minor injuries and did not go to the hospital. The driver was not hurt. Town officials say they will work with the school to review dismissal procedures.
Students will be back in class this morning at several Wake County schools after they had to close early because of air conditioning issues. Wakefield High School and Willow Spring High School closed early yesterday. This has been an ongoing issue this week. Wakefield Middle and Sanderson High School also closed early Tuesday for the same reason. Wake County says half of the county's HVAC maintenance jobs are vacant.
He said it was hotter in the building than it was outside. But I just wish as far as with communication, it was a little bit better. Because, I think they could have sent out an earlier notice than like 30 minutes before school's actually ready to let out.
Technicians worked throughout the night to get everything back online.
It was a nail-biter for UNC football fans. This game went well past midnight. Likely you didn't see it. The Tar Heels went back and forth with Minnesota all game long, and after midnight, kicker Noah Burnett hit his fourth field goal of the game. It put UNC up for good, 19-17 with less than 2 minutes to play. As time expired, Minnesota's kicker missed a field goal that would have given the Golden Gophers the win. Tar Heels, though, hang on for their season opener, 19-17. They will play their home opener next Saturday against Charlotte. And UNC fans will be looking for an update today about starting quarterback Max Johnson. He went down late in the third quarter with what looked like a knee injury right there. He was carted off the field. After the game, Coach Mack Brown said he didn't have any updates on how badly Johnson is hurt.
It was a bit of a rocky start to NC State's college football season. Western Carolina put up a fight early, taking a 14-7 lead in the first quarter. The Catamounts were up 21-17 going into the fourth quarter. Then NC State scored 3 unanswered touchdowns to pull away. The Wolfpack get the win, 38-21. They'll look to stay undefeated next Saturday when they host 15th-ranked Tennessee.
Heritage High School will be back to a normal schedule today after being evacuated after a bomb threat. Wake Forest police are working to find the person responsible. Wake County EMS said 3 people were taken to the hospital with heat-related issues after standing outside when that school was evacuated. It happened around 10:30 yesterday morning. 1,800 students stood on the football field unprotected from the sun for 90 minutes before the school was dismissed for the day. 20 to 30 students were treated on the scene. Law enforcement never found a credible threat.
Following breaking news here in the WRAL Live Center. Good morning, I'm Chris Lovingood. We're learning from the NBC and Fox stations in Dallas that 3 officers were shot last night and 1 of them has died. I'm going to show you some video from a witness who saw the aftermath of it because this also involved a chase, and investigators are saying, according to sources with those stations, that the suspect died as well. As you look at this video, you'll see that there are officers kind of standing about there. There's also some crime scene tape, and you see them investigating one of the vehicle that's over there. It's like a white car with what appears to be damage done to the door. We do have a live image up here. If you can come with me, you'll see that this is the hospital in Texas where the officer who died was inside, and there are officers that are surrounding that area right then and there. Some people showing up, praying and hoping that there would be a better outcome. But again, that person died. In terms of what led to all this, it started as a call to respond to some sort of area. Gunshots were heard, and that's when the chase happened. So stay with WRAL News as we try to get more breaking information for this, including learning who those officers were and the suspect as well.
Chris, thanks. The National Transportation Safety Board is moving forward with an investigation into a plane that landed on a highway in Greensboro. The FAA says the plane had engine problems Tuesday night. The report says after the plane landed on the urban loop, a passenger got out of the plane and was hit by a car. The car also hit the wing of the plane. No one had serious injuries.
A Fayetteville police officer facing criminal charges will make his first court appearance today. Sergeant Brian Gerber was a 7-year veteran of the force. He was arrested yesterday and charged with 12 counts of obtaining property by false pretenses. The charges stem from security guard work he was doing at Market Fair Mall on Skybow Road. Gerber was released on $26,000 unsecured bond.
Visitors at Raleigh Beach along the Neuse River will notice new warning signs in the area. This comes after several drownings and water rescues this summer. The city of Raleigh put these signs up to warn people of strong currents and steep drop-offs in that area. Raleigh Beach is a popular spot for people to swim. It's also proven to be dangerous. At least 4 people have drowned there since May, and several others rescued.
4:40 right now, and the man accused of killing 4 college students in Idaho is pushing to get a change of venue for his trial. The concerns from the defense about what they say is a mob mentality in the county where the murders happened.
And Flavor Flav wants a bigger role in the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, the honor he hopes to receive when the games return to the U.S.
And we give you this live look down Salem Street in Apex. It's not going to be as hot today, but we will still be in the mid-90s, and it's still humid out there. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione will tell us when we could see some rain this weekend.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
Welcome back. It is 4:44 here on this Friday morning as we cruise on into the Labor Day weekend. Yesterday, we hit a high temperature of 101 out at RDU. That did break the record. I don't think we'll quite get there today, but it's still going to be pretty hot and humid for us across the area. We already feel like 82 in the Triangle, 79 there rather in Rocky Mount, 64 though in South Hill, a little bit cooler because some rain has come through and kind of cooled the air down a little bit there. We should head up for a high temperature there of 95 this afternoon. It may still feel like between 100 to let's say 103. It's not quite to the heat advisory criteria of 105, but it's still just plain hot and humid across the area. Saturday, we're looking at storm chances there about 30%, so pretty minimal for us tomorrow. They do climb though into Labor Day.
A Wells Fargo employee in Arizona was found dead at her desk 4 days after she clocked in. Police say 60-year-old Denise Prudhomme was found dead in her cubicle on August 20th. She had last scanned into the building Friday, August 16th at 7 a.m., but there's no recorded entry or exit after that day. Tempe police were called to the Wells Fargo after on-site security reported an employee they believed to be deceased. No foul play is suspected, and officials are working to determine her cause of death.
New this morning, several people are injured after a home exploded in Brooklyn, New York. This happened around 8:30 last night. When first responders got to the scene, they found remnants of an explosion. 4 people were found with injuries. 2 people were seriously hurt. Fire officials believe the explosion happened in the basement, and they're working to figure out if this was caused by a gas leak.
Attorneys for Brian Kohberger, the man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students, want his trial moved. They say it's impossible to get an impartial jury in the town of Moscow. Now, during a hearing yesterday, the defense asked the judge to move the trial about 300 miles away to Boise, Idaho. No decision was made. A recent phone survey conducted by the defense of people who live in that area shows emotions about the case are still running high. Residents told experts if Kohberger is not convicted, they'd, quote, burn the courthouse down. And others said they would probably find him and kill him, and there would probably be a riot. The trial is set to begin next June. Kohberger has pleaded not guilty.
A Sampson County family is grieving the loss of 2 cousins killed in a hit-and-run crash. One of them was supposed to get married the next day. Robert McLaurin was in New York for his cousin Kirk Walker's wedding last weekend. Both men died Saturday after a wrong-way driver crashed into them in Harlem. When police arrived at the crash scene, the driver was gone. Now the grieving family wants closure and for the person who was responsible to be held accountable.
I couldn't even get to the hospital. I walked blocks and then hitchhiked a ride to the hospital to see my brother while they fled.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Robert McLaurin leaves behind 2 sons. Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, visited Raleigh for a campaign fundraising event, his first in North Carolina. Walz was joined by Governor Roy Cooper as they stopped at a campaign office to thank people working at a phone bank. The 2 also enjoyed a milkshake at Cookout before attending a private fundraising event in Midtown Raleigh.
A UNC student is back on Earth with an amazing story to tell. 21-year-old Carson Kitchen is officially the youngest woman ever to travel into space. Kitchen was part of a 6-person Blue Origin crew that traveled to space yesterday. The mission lasted about 15 minutes, including 4 minutes of weightlessness. We spoke with Kitchen after she touched down back in Texas near the launch site. She says her life changed the moment she crossed into space and saw planet Earth in zero gravity.
It's this incredible, bright, fluorescent, blue beating heart of an Earth. And it has this aura to it, this bubble, this wisp of an atmosphere that takes care of you and gives you everything you need. And to see our beautiful planet truly just changes your perspective on how lucky we are.
What a perspective, huh? Kitchen's passion for space exploration runs in the family. Her father, Jim, there on the left, he's a professor at UNC, also went on a mission into space in 2022.
Flavor Flav wants to be a torchbearer at the 2028 Olympic Games. During an interview on a podcast, the rapper said he had so much fun in Paris that he wants to play a bigger role in the 2028 Games in LA. Flavor Flav said that Snoop Dogg did a fantastic job as an Olympic torchbearer in Paris and said that if Snoop can do it, he can do it too. A 65-year-old artist helped to sponsor the U.S. women's water polo team this year. Great hype man.
They both took it to another level there, certainly. We've reached our level of heat for the week. It was yesterday. Anthony Baglione in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Looking good on the trend. It's coming down in the next few days, right?
Yeah, it's going to feel a whole lot better here by the time we get into probably Labor Day and then through next week. I have some 70s on the map, which I'll show you here in a second. We get us outside, though, this morning. Very limited coverage showing up on radar, but there's a couple light showers right there, right around the Enfield area, just I-95. You can see they're very spotty coverage at this point, but I just want to make you aware if you're headed out early. Even toward Red Oak, Rocky Mountain, those are pushing mainly off to the east. It's from a system to our north that could also leave a little bit of cloud cover in place this morning, but don't worry, as we get through the day, we will see a lot of sunshine. Here's Futurecast. You can see that cloud cover up to the north for some of our northern counties. It mostly stays there, but again, some of that could stream a little bit closer to the majority of our viewing area. We take you ahead. There's lunchtime. We're still looking great. No problems if you're hitting the roads. Futurecast is showing a good deal of some rain showing up, mainly closer to this evening into tonight. I do think it is a little bit overdone with that coverage, but let's say between about 5 o'clock and 10 o'clock at the latest, we could see some scattered storms coming through. The Storm Prediction Center, this is a very similar situation to what we had yesterday, does have us in a level 1 out of 5 risk there for some strong to severe storms. Yesterday, we did not end up seeing that happening. It's just saying that potential is there if they get going. We could see some gusty winds. We are not under a severe risk, though, as we head into the weekend. 30% chance for us tomorrow, just a couple passing storms, and I would not cancel any plans if you have anything going on tomorrow. 60% on Sunday, 50% on Monday. Any plans, if you can steer them toward the morning hours, they're going to be drier than the afternoon. I do think each day by the afternoon and evening, we could see some scattered storms coming through, a very kind of summer pattern the next couple days. 82, though, is what it feels like currently this morning in Raleigh, 72 in Clinton. We see temperatures there at 77 in Goldsboro. It is going to be a hot and muggy one once again for us. 95 is the high temperature this afternoon. We hit 101 degrees yesterday, so I don't see us doing that again today, but just incredible heat the past couple days. Let's talk about the tropics here briefly. This is a new update from the National Hurricane Center. This system right there has now a 50% chance of development. That is one at this point that looks like we'll need to watch as we go through the next couple of weeks. September 10th is the peak of hurricane season. That one does look like it could try and develop somewhere in the Caribbean, which of course is the hottest water in the entire Atlantic right now. 95 for us today, 91 Saturday. We go to 92 on Sunday. We get into next week, though, guys, temperatures in the 70s. So that's going to feel a whole lot different than 101 yesterday.
Thanks,
yes.
Anthony. Yeah, really, I can't wait.
Bring it on.
It's going to be good. Overnight, hotels near the Grand Canyon are shut down during one of the busiest times of the year for tourism. The issues with the main pipeline that brings water to that area.
We'll also show you new images from Iceland of the northern lights shining above an erupting volcano.